Hey everybody, it's Jbizzo 49,
And Prometheus MFD.
and we figured we'd do another one of these things before Thanksgiving because why not?
Pretty much fuels every idea we come up with.
Because why the hell not?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things that we want to talk about today, so let's just dive right in. The first thing that we're going to talk about is G4. I think I'm going to hand this one over to Prometheus since he's the one that
Yeah.
actually brought the news to me on this.
So, for those of you who have been out of the loop for the past, 7 years?
I think so.
G4 was a network aimed towards gamers.
Keyword was
Yeah.
was.
Eventually, it became a guys network, much like Spike TV, only with worse programming. Because
Somehow.
at least Spike TV had the occasional watchable stuff like CSI or Ultimate Fighter,
Yeah.
but but G4 decided to choose trash TV like Cheaters and other such nonsense. Well, about a
Not,
week ago, I decided, you know what, Attack of the Show should be on about now because it was a Wednesday afternoon. I had nothing to do, so I
and
decided to flip over.
it was apparently 2 p.m.
Yeah. So I decided to flip over to G4 just because. Uh, we have DirecTV provider, and what should happen upon my screen? A message saying DirecTV no longer carries G4. Well, I just had to look this up, and as it turns out, on November 1st, they dropped G4 because of failing, reviews and just all around crappiness for G4. This is
If DirecTV won't carry your ass,
yeah. This has prompted some local cable networks who carry the channel to drop it.
uh, what about Mediacom? That's our local cable company. Have they dropped it?
I'm not sure. For those of you who don't know, Mediacom is a subsidiary of Comcast, which is like the only cable network in the western half of the United States.
Yeah. And Mediacom is pretty much the Midwest.
Yeah, but I haven't heard anything on that, so I'm assuming it's still on. But I don't know anyone with cable who watches it because people I know who are watching it
Because
gave up.
digital cable's fucking expensive.
Yeah, it's all expensive. It all costs money. Um, you know,
Damn you colleges taking my monies.
G4 started out really interesting because it had Attack of the Show, which rated games. No, Attack of the Show, which was like a tech news source. I'm confusing that with X Play, which rated games, and then like all these other tech based shows and some machinima based television, which was
Oh yes, I remember that.
uh,
Uh,
most notable.
wasn't that called Cinematech?
Uh,
Or were those trailers?
those were trailers for machinima and video games. No, I'm
Okay.
thinking of like full on series
Oh,
made.
that's right.
Uh, and then after they got acquired by another company, they dropped pretty much all the machinima except for machinima or Cinematech and most of the tech based shows, which resulted in the lineup, the tech based lineup being little more than X Play and Attack of the Show. Which they filled in the rest of the time with Ninja Warrior, and that's it. So then they were acquired again, and that network basically got rid of everything that wasn't Attack of the Show and X Play. X Play basically became just video game news as opposed to a rating show, with the occasional cheat segment, which
Which, by the way, Cheat used to be a full 30-minute
yeah,
show.
and that was awesome. It was a show about how to get through video games.
Yes.
So at this point, it was becoming a guy. It had become a guys' network with cheaters and other trash TV, and then they had to fill what little time couldn't be made up with the tech stuff with Ninja Warrior, the spin-off show of that, Unbeatable Banzuke, and then like the spin-off, another spin-off, American Ninja Warrior, and I lost interest.
It just degraded.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the day, back when the economy didn't suck, and we had digital cable, and they carried G4, and I used to watch that all the goddamn time.
Like, that was, where I got all my video game news. That's how I knew the release date for the 360, the Wii, and the PS3.
Yep, because that was basically their commercial breaks.
Yeah, it was video shows about video games, commercials about video games, and back to freaking shows about video games.
Yep.
Or
another
Jinx plug.
Another show that reviewed games was back in the day. It was called Judgment Day. I think it's called something else now. I do
not remember that one. I think that was before I started watching it.
It was some guy, and I think Tommy Tallarico, or whatever the fuck his name is, reviewing probably about 4 games per episode.
Smart.
Like, going into, 4 or 5 minute reviews.
It's more than the 3 video games per episode and plethora of bad jokes that X-Play supplied us. They had some good moments, like this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Town, motherfucker, but before, up until I just gave up on the channel, it was all repetitive, and they had so many shows about technology. And then
there were also I remember a show called Arena, which was fucking awesome.
I think I know what that is. Can you tell people what it's about? You can remember?
It's hard to remember back that far. It's been 5 years since I've seen any decent G4's TV.
The tag of the show was pretty good. They still did the tech segments, but
basically, the two teams would face off against each other in various computer and video games. Pretty much the one game you knew for sure was going to be played was a bombing run on Unreal Tournament, whatever version they were on at the time.
So it was better than that one game show where they took quote-unquote gamers and had them recreate they had them play the game and then they had them act out the game. That short-lived reality show that was terrible because it represented gamers in a current G4 light.
AKA, it's a show that I've never even heard of, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Probably. It might be my madness slowly catching up with me. I'm sure I saw commercials for it. Looked at the people saying, "Yeah, there's no fucking way those are gamers." You want to know if you want to find out someone's a gamer, make a reference to any classic game.
And classic, we're gonna say 1995 or previous.
Yeah. Have them make a Banjo-Kazooie reference.
There we go.
Or
that'll work.
Or ask them about the game Conker's Bad. Is it Conker's Bad Day?
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Bad Fur Day, yeah. Ask them
a game to this day I still have not played.
Yeah, me neither. I want to though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
of course, I think we get enough adult joke references with Rareware's other N64 offerings.
Yeah, I need to get some of their stuff because I have an N64. Back to what I was
Da 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 da.
No, dude, I found it in my freaking uncle's closet. I'm like, I'm looking for CDs because he just keeps all his music, and I find I'm like, can I have this? And he's like, yeah. I held it above my head. The Zelda item collection music played. I wish I had video of it, but he had like mostly sports games, and then Banjo Kazooie, which
Like, oh my
got
god!
from left field. Now I'm looking for N64 games that, other classics such as Mario, Ocarina of Time. I do have Majora's Mask. So, 13th playthrough. Like I did.
Back to G4.
What was I saying?
Uh,
We got so sidetracked that time.
I know.
Oh.
You see, this stuff is painful for me to edit because I'm like, you can't remember what you said 3 minutes ago?
Yeah. But that's because I'm so involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm being an active participant. Shit.
So G4.
I give it 0 bad TV networks out of 5.
That was not creative enough.
Nope. I give it 0 Jinx shirts out of 5. I give it 0 this Yu-Gi-Oh! Town motherfucker.
I give it 0 the cheats out of 5.
Because it is Yu-Gi-Oh! Town motherfuckers. That was actually a really funny skit. Especially because I do play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
The ladies love the card games. That's a lie. Blatant lies!
So now that DirecTV has dropped G4, do you want to give, like, a death date for G4 officially?
No, because Mediacom's retarded. They're probably just going to keep it out of spite. Or Comcast is retarded. They're going to keep it out of spite. Whatever your local subsidiary of that company is. How do I know that word?
Because you took some class that taught you the word subsidiary.
Or Scribblenauts. I'm pretty sure it's in Scribblenauts. Or at minimum, Super Scribblenauts.
Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta get Super Scribblenauts now. It looks like a fun game.
So that was a look at G4 and how awesome it used to be.
Now it's gone. I've lost exactly 0 TV shows that I watched.
Yeah. And the 2 you would have watched were pretty much
They were on at bad times and they were poorly made.
Yeah. Like you were telling me that it was either Attack of the Show or X-Play.
And they're like nowhere near each other, and
that's on one of them was on twice a day, but it was on at 2 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Yeah. I don't think it was even filmed live anymore. Fucking G4.
What have they done?